Hi, I'm SkyPointWX.com's weather analyst Andrew Fleck. Just around your Sunday night for your Sunday's map outlook, and a lot of interesting things flowing down south in the Gulf this late weekend as we head into early next week, and that is Hurricane Ida. Yes, Hurricane Ida is the name, and this storm is now making its way very closely into the Gulf now, and does appear to be what seems to be a Category 1 to possibly a 2 characterized hurricane. And let's just see what the NOAA track has put on for this. And a lot different from the past few days, as it just had a tropical storm affecting the area. Now this storm now kind of just making its way over the Gulf very soon. By Monday it hits here. By Monday afternoon it hits here. And by early Tuesday, it's pretty much right on the Gulf Coast. And this is very scary, okay, because this is the type of storm that's very close to New Orleans, the area that's cleaning up, the area that's finally rebuilt, and it's really making progress. And now a big area with a lot of rain, some winds of 50 to perhaps even 80 miles per hour affecting those coastal areas. It's not what you want. And putting in the storm surge, that just makes it worse. So again, this is probably the storm that is going to be needed to watch absolutely the most. This storm is going to be doing a lot, and once again, this needs to be watched. I kept saying over and over again that this storm was going to be the storm that most folks were going to have to watch, because you see, when a storm gets into the open waters of the Gulf, you never know really what it's going to do, because the most surprising storms come and form into the Gulf, and we've had many times of that happening, as storms were forecasted to be a Category 2 and they turned out to be a Category 4. Now, not to say that that's going to happen, because the storm is already into the Gulf and there are conditions that are pulling it weak enough to prevent it from hitting that 3 or 4, but either way, a hurricane's a hurricane and it's going to make some damage down there. So again, I expect a lot of heavy rain, a lot of winds. Fortunately, the track is east of New Orleans, so storm surge is probably going to just be great enough from about this area and eastward. But because the storm is so close, even the tips of New Orleans might get in it. So again, very, very unfortunate for that. But again, storm surge, heavy rains, winds, that's going to be the big major problem. Now let's see how the storm looks on imagery right now. You can see about the same pretty impressive blooming thunderstorms. Okay, the center is about right up here, and that storm is then going to continue to move like this and then curve inward. That's what NOAA is forecasting here. And again, Category 1 could gust as high as Category 2. I don't think it does. We'll have to see what happens once all the energy gets over the land masses of Cuba, and once it can all center itself and really strengthen, maybe form an eye possible, and really see how good this gets going. I really grasp a lot of interest in this, because again, the storm is just entering the Gulf, but I want to see all the energy move into the Gulf too, because it's just very, very interesting to see what the storm is going to then do. Then looking at maybe any other activity in the Gulf, we do have a low pressure in the Gulf here. Low pressures move with counterclockwise motion, so they're moving like this. So what it's doing is it's pulling in, okay, trade winds into the storm. So when this hurricane moves through these trade winds up in this area here, you might have some shear, and that's going to weaken it. So that might be the best thing possible when the storm gets close to the coast. So just hope for that. But as of right now, I would love to see what this imagery looks like by tomorrow, early Monday morning, Monday afternoon. Elsewhere over the United States now, we're just seeing just the small bits of energy, some over Minnesota, some rain, some more snow and ice over the west, as some of that energy is still trapped in there. Here's Hurricane Ida's bands already moving maybe as north as the Florida Keys into Cuba. There's another storm, like I said, over the western Gulf. That's your second low pressure that I was talking about, that's going to bring those trade winds in across Ida's path, which could actually evidently shear off Ida and just weaken it a tad bit, which would be really fortunate for the coastal areas. So again, that's really about it. U.S. is still staying calm. I think a storm is going to start shaping up by midweek coming up, and we're really going to have to see what Ida does, because Ida itself could be the major storm, because looking at this, we have a high pressure and a trough coming down like this. Okay, and that's going to be moving off to then the east, and then what you're going to have is Ida then pulling up in, either goes this way or it either pulls up with the trough, and either way you either get some pretty strong surf or some rains up around the mid-Atlantical region. So we'll have to see what this storm wants to do. I think it really all matters of what happens when it gets in the center of the Gulf. The system here in the Western Gulf, what that does to the strength and the track of it, and then of course the trough that comes down by midweek. So there's a lot of contributors in this that need to be watched out. So again, that's it, and this was your Sunday's night map outlook. I'll have a Monday's map outlook later on Monday. So hope you guys had a good weekend, and we'll talk to you at the start of your week. So have a good Sunday.